Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing some planting of seeds for our spring garden. Specifically, we're going to be planting some broccoli, cauliflower, and red acre cabbage. Now the seeds that I have here today are Waltham broccoli, Munchkin broccoli, Asperbrock broccolini, early snowball cauliflower, and red acre cabbage. So let's get to planting. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're using the right type of soil and that your soil is ready to be planted. What that means is that you want to be working with damp soil. So I've got some pre-moistened soil here. If you hold it together in your hands, it kind of holds together, slightly crumbles apart. It's a nice dark rich brown, and it's kind of like the consistency of crumbly brownie mix. That's the consistency you're going for, and that's going to be perfect for planting seeds. Now I'm using a mixture of seed starting mix and potting soil, so the soil is light and fluffy. I have these 4-cell seed starters here. These are the perfect size to be planting these crops today. The first thing we're going to do is fill them up with our soil. You want to make sure that your soil is packed in there so that your seeds have a good base to germinate and grow. So I'm just filling the cells with soil, and then I'm going to press them down so that they're really nice and packed in there. And then just finish by filling up to the top. And you want to do this with all of your cells. So we're going to press it down and fill again. Now this could get a little bit messy. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Planting is so much fun. Okay, we have our seed cells all full of soil. Time to get to planting. We're going to start off with planting our broccoli. We'll start with our Waltham broccoli. Now broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage are considered cool weather crops, which just means that they thrive in temperatures between about 35 degrees Fahrenheit and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. When it comes to planting your broccoli seeds, specifically this is our Waltham broccoli, we're only going to plant 2 seeds per cell. That just ensures that we're not planting just 1 seed and that we're going to get a good rate of germination. So I'm just taking the seeds and dropping them into each cell, 2 seeds per cell. And then I'm just going to take a pencil or a stick and just poke it down in the soil ever so lightly. These seeds are quite small, so you don't want to bury them too deep into the soil or else they might not germinate at all. And it's that simple, they're planted. Let's move on to our Munchkin broccoli. Broccoli is one of my favorite cool weather crops to grow, so that's why we're planting more broccoli than we're planting cauliflower and cabbage. But it's so much fun to have a variety of vegetables in your garden. Definitely plant the vegetables that you love and you're going to eat. No need to waste space in your garden planting things that you're just not going to eat and that might go to waste. Now as you can see here, these seeds are quite small. They're little round seeds. So you definitely don't need to plant these very deep into the soil. But planting more than 1 seed per cell just ensures that you'll get a better rate of germination. And then we're just going to poke those down into the soil and cover them lightly. Let's move on to our broccolini. Now definitely don't forget to mark your seedlings with a tag so you don't forget what they are. I've marked what the name of the vegetable is on one side, and I've marked the date that I've planted on the other side. Let's move on to our cauliflower. Cauliflower is also a cool weather crop, thriving in temperatures between 35 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. These seeds are also quite small and round, so you don't want to bury them very deep in the soil. And we're going to do the same thing as we did with the broccoli and just plant about 2 seeds per cell. If you drop a couple extra seeds in there, no worries, you can always separate or thin them out later. You just don't want to plant too many per cell because you don't want your little seedlings competing for the nutrients in the soil. And we're going to tag it. One more to plant, and that's our red acre cabbage. Red acre cabbage actually can thrive in temperatures as low as 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Great for spring weather. Right when you're able to work the soil is when you can plant these. You can definitely direct sow any of these outside in your garden, but if you want to get a jump on the gardening season, I recommend indoor gardening. Now, you want to start your broccoli seeds about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. Now, to find out your last frost date, just type your location into Google and it'll tell you. And for cabbage and cauliflower, you want to plant about 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. We're just getting a little bit of a jump for the sake of this video. And there we have it, our seeds are planted. Now let's talk about watering. We already have our dampened soil here for our seeds, so they're nice and heavy. We don't need to worry about watering them just yet. When it comes to watering these seedlings, you want to water from the bottom as opposed to the top. If you water from the top, you could risk spreading the seeds, burying them deeper, or even spreading disease. So by watering from the bottom, you can ensure that your seedlings and your cells are going to soak up the water that they need in order to keep your seedlings growing nice and healthy and strong. You can see here I have my seedlings in a tray, so I can just pour the water right down into the tray and it'll soak up all the water. You want to leave your seedlings soaking up water for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then if there's any water left over in the bottom of the tray, just dump it out or use it to water other plants. Now, how often do you water? That's a question I get a lot, and there's really no magical answer to that question. The key is knowing when to water based on what your seedlings look like. There's a couple of ways to tell when it's time to water your seedlings. First off, you don't want the tops of your soil to get dry while your seeds are germinating, so you can use a spray bottle to lightly spray the top of your seedlings gently while they're germinating. Once they've germinated and they've started to grow, there's a couple of ways to know when to water. First off is by the weight of your cells. This one's quite heavy, so I know that it has the water in there that it needs and it doesn't need to be watered just yet. Another way to tell is by the color of the soil. This soil is a nice dark deep brown, and when it begins to dry out, it's going to turn to a light brown. Once that happens, you want to wait about a half a day to a day before you water to ensure that the water has actually evaporated from most of the cell. There's really no scientific way to know for sure how often to water. It's just going to depend on the temperature in your house, the environment of your house, where they're located in your house. All of that's going to play a factor here. As well, when the seedlings are smaller, they won't need to be watered as often compared to when your plants start to grow larger, and they might need to be watered even once a day. Now it's time to place our seedlings under the grow lights. When placing your seedlings under the grow lights, you want to make sure that you place them about 2 to 4 inches away from the grow lights. That just ensures that your seedlings won't become leggy and they'll be able to grow nice and stocky and strong. And there you have it. Our seedlings are planted and ready to grow. Please like and subscribe to this video if you found it helpful, and share with your friends so that they can learn too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends!